Welcome back, everybody. Last time we left off, we had quite a few reveals happen, including the fact that we're practically a light warden now, probably the strongest one in existence. And we found out our Crystal Azark was actually Grahatia the whole entire time. So he looked a bit worse for wear, but his plan ended up failing because Emmett, of course, ended up being somebody that we couldn't trust, so let's go ahead and continue on and see how this goes for us. And we'll go ahead and, Oh, miss, you're awake. You were injured during the foray on Mount Gold, yes? I was here at my station, as always, when they carried you out on a makeshift stretcher looking disturbingly prophetic figure. To compound my worry, the sky is, well, I'm sure you've seen. It has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Braggy was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers. He has visited several times since to inquire about your condition. Alright, let's go and talk to Braggy then. Yeah, we should have pretty much a straight shot to whatever is left of this expansion at this point. I don't see them here. Ah, there they go. Well, look who's back from the dead. Oh, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked very ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you were 1 foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless, you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Azark away in the midst of the chaos. Wicked White, what's this world coming to? Bah, but moaning never solved a thing, did it? Nay, it's time like thee that we the Crystarium folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade of Ilmore is back on the table. We best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the Fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chesamee was worried sick about you. A healer wringing her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. Alright, let's go talk to her next, then. Yep, as we can see, the everlasting light is back, assumably in every single spot. Okay, it was below, but can I jump off this railing? I might not be able to. Let me see. Oh wait, yeah I can. Nice. Oh, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even Sprout Chirurgeons were forbidden from making visits. Marine was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to Eater corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure for your condition. I'm worried to see their faces grown ever haggard ever since they passed the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyway if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin has been a little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome after another. Our librarian friend, I believe. That one we do have to go below for, so should be through here. Yeah, I assume Marine is probably holding us together at the moment. Because she'd be the only one in particular that would have the powers to actually do so, so... And I think they pretty much said as much, but... Confound it, this is the same thing as last. Maybe I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Narn, it's surely you and not something but my imagination? Oh, this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this worrisome conundrum. Why have all the light warrants defeated has its lights returned to the sphere of the sky? Must have poured over 100 tomes, so no definite conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to Azog, and thus do I feel his absence all more keenly. Now that you're awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catless, however, leads the crystalline mean in preparedness for battle, though against what foe we are not yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright will be much welcome relief. Okay. We must have been out of it for quite a while, I'm assuming. I was wondering why I couldn't hear the noise from my pickaxe there for a bit. I think the game might be a little bit slow today. Though I've heard there's a lot of population coming in, so that might be why. Narn, alive and well, I see. You give us all a proper fight, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying about what's become of you or the Azark. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won that day. The Azark would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you would stand still a moment, I'd like to access the gear we're trying to improve. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we need to experiment with different patterns and materials, so I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Greetings, Gillard. Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is. I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. Thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to your predicament of yours. By genius, you mean old Granort. He is the man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with you there. What good does his talent do if you can't bloody find him? I haven't seen neither hair of Granort ever since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he hatches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. Wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Still, if that secretary is something you've destined to meet, I wager he'll show up soon enough. My time at the bar, many of the tales I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Granort, it'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to colonizing, eh? Yeah, before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking in my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing me the stairs, I have a regular who's eager to meet you. I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the Azark might not have much of a home to return to. Alright. No, you're right. I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or we might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Azark often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. You knew that. Do we need any mending done? Let's see. Yeah, we should probably repair that at about 75%. Okay, I think it's over there, that tower right there. Yeah, okay, it is up here.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
Still can't believe it's coming from me.
Neither can I, to be honest. But you heard what the Ascians said. The light you shine will warp the world around you, whether you like it or not. Even your Stoller and Reen had to concede that point. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. that they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then. As I thought, what happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
You were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Alright, well, guess we're gonna go ahead and try and figure out some answers here in Crystarium about Crystal Azark. Let's go ahead and just hop off here. That nice 1 HP. Oh, I didn't expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you've not come in search of an Amaru. What do I know of the Crystal Azark? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in the city could tell you, he's a man of wisdom and compassion, many untold secrets. One could doubt his generosity. When Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Azark is permitted to dwell within the spire. In many seasons past, a commoner mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. Azark merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Okay. Okay, so they have some pretty big circles around here, I guess. Let's just go ahead and hit up the Cabinet of Curiosity right now. I'm pretty sure that's where one is. Oh, is there something else you needed? If you come for the results of my research into the persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Records pertaining to the Azark. Well, I have no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that was what interests you. Yeah, less than a decade has passed since the coming of the flood within the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Azark himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought at the spire, but be they locals who had lost their homes or Vaporites fleeing from the ruined kingdom, together they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought they'd call him king, but he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scaling skin so unlike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed him upon the title of Crystal Azark. As for his true name, well, it does seem to be a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Well, there's not a mystery there anymore, at least. Let's see, where's the next Calista spot here? I guess the Amaru launch. Yeah, there we go. Alright, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. What's this about? You're not writing the Azark's memorials, are you? I'm not sure how much to tell you, considering we avoid asking too much questions. Unspoken rule and all that. Yeah, if anyone has a fresh insights to share, that'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Azark saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. Imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that her proud captain would ever show it. If you decided to talk to Lena, she'd be at her usual post at the eccentric gate. Alrighty. That would take us outside, I'm pretty sure. Where's the outside again? Okay, there it is. Yeah, we have the plaza, I guess. That's the closest spot. That way. Alright, she should be just right out here somewhere. Then we can just go ahead and get on our mount, I'm sure. There we go. That was a little bit farther than I thought it was going to be. No, I was not told you had awoken. Welcome surprise, if only the Azark was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned that they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then I realized that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay is no less agonizing. In the moments before we left to join you in Colossia, the Azark entrusted me with a key. Opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Ambiguous. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Azark himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he departed, only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Ambiguous and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the Battle of Lothry loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look on his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Nar, I need to know what he feared. What battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me, I trust in the Azark, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to here with a question of your own, have you not? I see that I'm not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Alrighty. Come, meet me in the ocular. I'll unlock the door within. Alright, time to head to the ocular then. Let's find out the secrets going on. Should be just a straight shot from here, I believe. Kinda curious what the rest of the crew is up to at the moment. Are they heading to the, what was it, the Tempest, I think it was? I think that's what Emmett said. Alrighty, let's go and head on in.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
I wonder what's in here. A lot of books, apparently.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then. By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only woman who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was her. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, she would rise above. Where others would break and run, she would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were her deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light herself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. She was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to her. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Lymphylia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward. even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean, I have a few words with both Emmett and the Azarch.
We should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
I'm assuming everybody else is already there. Did you find the answers you sought? If there's something more you need, I'll go and lock the door. I have questions about the Tempest. Tempest, that is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they'll probably have Umber to fly you over the waters, but... Do you mean to leave right this moment alone? I'm not sure that... Nay, I will not seek the spot to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I shall wait your safe return. This is probably a good stopping point in any case. So I'm pretty sure now that we have uncovered the secret of what Graha was up to, they're pretty much going to throw us into the last area of the game, or expansion here. So we'll go ahead and stop here, and I'll see you guys in the next one, where we'll be heading for the Tempest.